trigger the sound here, and the same thing I did before, I will only trigger it once. Let me think. There's a problem. I don't know if you've noticed in the Neon Platformer game on the arcade. If you are touched by an enemy which kills you, but at the same time you fall, it will trigger the sounds twice or something like that. So what you want is on death trigger the sound unless it's already playing. So it resembles what we had with the background music. So death, let me call that death, but you will only play it if death is not already playing. Audio is playing death. We invert. Okay, so let's try this. So first I will try the checkpoint thing. The checkpoint works, and now I will try to die, which usually I do. Okay, I have the dying sound playing when I die, and let's try like this. Dying sound when I fall. Okay, so the dying sound seems to work well. Let's go to the explosion sound. You see, implementing sound is really a matter of it's really easy. The good thing with this is, let me think of something. Oh yeah. Just one thing to know is if it's not playing. Here what I'm thinking is when the player is here, let's go back to this. When the player falls underneath the layout, is dying, and it will call the dying function as long as it's underneath, and it's underneath as long as you didn't call the respawn function. So as long as the dying animation is finished, the player will be calling the death animation. For what we have here, it's not a problem at all. It will always set dead to true, always do this, and I don't remember where I started the animation. Where did I start the animation? Player animation. Oh yeah, using the is dead. I start the animation here and trigger once. Okay. So I think there's a small little risk that the death animation can be called more than once. I don't see if you see this. If the death animation is small enough to be played entirely during the death animation, this part will be once again true, because the death sound will stop. And then since the death function is constantly called here as well, and here as well, you will maybe have twice the sound playing twice, and you don't want that. So I think one good workaround is to use this here. If it's dead, you trigger once this and this. You play the die animation and you trigger you start the death sound. Is everyone follow me here, or did I lose someone? Yeah, but I expect you to follow. You're an experienced. Oh, good. Ah, okay. Got to go. I thought it was good to go. That's in case that I respawn on an enemy. Oh, I die like instantly. No, not exactly. Let me re-explain what happened. The problem is really here. Each time I have those dying function, maybe not this one. Well, what I could do is this. The problem, oh, it's an or. The problem here is really that these function are called these events are called multiple times. Oh, maybe it's not in that case that I respawn on an enemy and I die like instantly. That would be the case that the sound would play more than once. Yeah, if you didn't use this here, the sound would play more than once. Because what would happen if you respawn on an enemy and you die instantly? What would happen? Let's trace the code. Okay, so you die at some point for maybe HP equals 0. So death is called. Death you will have your variable dead to true. Start ignoring, okay, and you will start. No, you won't do this. You just switch a variable basically. The dying function just switch a variable and do this. Then, if the variable is switched, you will trigger just once. You will trigger an animation, the dying animation, plus if the death animation is not playing, you will trigger the death. If the death sound is not playing, you will trigger the death sound as well. Okay. So what we have from here is a player dying, the character dying, plus a sound is playing. Okay, so everything happens, and once the dying animation is finished, you will respawn. So you respawn, okay, you switch back the dead variable to false, you set back the HP, but let's say you don't do this, you just set the HP to 1, so you will be touched by the enemy once again and you will die again. So let's say you do HP equal 1, you get back the control. Now you touching the enemy again, and you call the death animation. Everything does the same. The death is switched to true, and here, unless your death audio is still is not done, if it's still playing, here it shouldn't play again. Okay, so that's what happens, and I put this here because it handled the. Okay, it happened once. The other way I could have done it, maybe a better way, is to do this. Trigger once. Where are you? Here. I could have done this, and it might be even better in some ways, because the death animation will just be called once, and that's all. So if the death animation is only called once, I wouldn't need this part. I could even put this and this in the death animation. That's really a matter of taste. What I like with this is that the animation is in my animation group, so it's not so bad. So yeah, for now I think I will leave it at that here, and it should work decently. So yeah, I have an instant death here because let me resize. Okay, instant death because I have my character here. and it was respawning each time here, which is silly. Okay. Bim 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 bim. Playing. Poof poof. Killing a robot. And now we are missing this explosion. We want to hear it. Okay. So, explosion. Explosion, explosion. Where is the explosion triggered? Let's see. Enemy, enemy, enemy. Enemy. Die, destroy. Animation die finished. Enemy. Take damage, so that's not this part. It's the stomping part. So I set enemy to death. And then it's probably in the enemy animation, because the explosion is an animation. Okay, the enemy is dead. Here, 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 and I spawn an explosion on destroy. Okay. So here, when the explosion is spawned, I want to call the function call the sound explosion. 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 And here I don't necessarily need to stop the explosion animation, because let's say I kill 2 enemies very fast. I want to hear both explosion, I think, and this should only happen once on destroy explosion. Why do you keep? I remember the explosion is a bit loud. Let's see. Yeah, I will lower that volume slightly. Okay, you tell me if it's okay. Since I lowered my volume, I don't really hear it too much. Let's see. So the explosion is okay. I'm waiting for your answer, but I will start. Okay. Health. We just have health and stomp left. The health should trigger when we get an health pickup. Health pickup is here. That's where I limited the fact that I should have a lower HP to get the health. If I have HP max, if I am full loaded in HP, I don't need the health pickup, so I don't pick it. Okay, okay. Super cool. So here is where I want to trigger the sound. Just to remind you, or to tell you, for those who didn't, haven't seen my video where I implement this, which is in the, I think, effect and graphics video. Here I destroy the pickup the same way I did with the the coins, the former coins, which are crystals now. That's still a coin counter though. Player, I add the value I have in the health pickup, which is 1. I add 1 to HP. My HP now goes from 0 to 10 because they are displayed like that. The operation to display such health bar was easier with I just had to multiply the width of the image of the health bar by the number of HP I had. So you'll see this in the other video as well. So yeah, I start the particle effects, I wait 1 second and stop the particle effect. So I want the sound to trigger before the wait. Don't want the sound to trigger when